FilmVision 2 is my latest film emulation color grading workflow. It's been derived from the digitizing method of receiving a flat or log scan of your 500T or 250D footage directly from the lab that scanned your film, and then going on to make your own adjustments within your choice of NLE to land at a final image you're pleased with. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to take you through how to use these LUTs within Premiere Pro, but the same workflow goes for any NLE that accepts LUTs. So Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, LumaFusion, these LUTs will work the same with any software. Once you unzip the downloaded file, this is what you're going to see. You're going to have two folders filled with LUTs, the 250D and 500T. Each one of these folders is going to include a dedicated LUT for your camera profile. Now let's hop into Premiere Pro and I'm going to show you how I ultimately achieved this look. We're going to reset this, and so there are two places where we could input a LUT. Firstly here in basic correction, and secondly here in creative. We're going to want to do it under the creative look. So we're going to go ahead and browse and find our folder. Firstly, we're going to go through the 500T, as this is personally my favorite. And again, you're just going to look for the corresponding log profile. And for instance, if you're shooting in a standard picture profile on your camera, then more than likely what you're going to need to use is this Rec. 709 LUT. But this footage specifically is Mavo Edge 8K, which is going to be Kinolog 3, so we're going to select that. Once we apply that, this is what we get. It looks good, but it looks a little flat and a little blue. Again, this is based off of a 500T workflow, so the footage is going to look bluish when you're dealing with daylight footage. So we're going to go under basic correction, and the first thing I'm going to do is pump up the contrast a bit, bring up the whites, maybe drop my black some more. And as far as exposure and contrast, this looks pretty good. So the only other thing I'm going to do is just warm up the image. I'm going to leave it somewhere around there, maybe bring the magenta down just a tiny bit. And if we do before and after, you can see how easily we got to this final image. Now everything here is up to personal preference. You don't have to warm up the image. You can keep it blue like this, and you can keep it a little bit lower in contrast. It's totally dependent on your taste and your footage. Now we're going to go ahead and reset this, and I'm going to take you through what the 250D LUT looks like. So we're going to go back to Creative, go to Look, Browse, and this time we're going to select 250D LUT. So we're going to go to Kinolog 3 and apply it. Right off the bat, you can see it looks already a lot more balanced and natural in terms of color temperature. We still need to add in a bit of contrast, bring up the whites a tad bit. But there you go, this is already such a well-balanced image. And again, what differentiates both of the LUTs is just that 500T is tungsten based, while this 250D is daylight balanced. Now you can switch between both LUTs and see which one works best, but if you know you're going to be going for a cleaner, more refined look, I say definitely start off with the 250D because it's going to be much more clean compared to the 500T. But both LUTs are going to give you an accurate film emulation. We can scroll through the footage a bit, you can see just how nice the color separation is, how nice our skin tones are looking, how dense the blues and the reds and greens are. And we got there really easily. We're going to take a look at another scene, and again we're going to go under Creative. For this I'm going to go with 500T. And our image is already looking pretty good. So now we're just going to add in some contrast, bring up our whites a little bit, and you can warm it up, but I'm actually going to cool this image down a bit. So we're going to drop that, and then we're going to add in some magenta. Maybe cool it off a little bit more. And I really like where that's sitting. If we turn this on and off, yeah, and there we go. I'm going to do one last scene. Again, I'm going to go with 500T, and this is actually red log footage. Going to apply that. Go under basic correction, add in some contrast, bring up our whites. Going to drop our blacks a tiny bit, and then all that's left is to just warm up the image. This was shot around golden hour, so we're getting these really nice golden tones. And just like that, we got our final image. Once again, thank you so much for supporting me. If you have any questions regarding this emulation, feel free to email me at emulatedfilm@gmail.com. And I hope you all enjoy the emulation and can put it to use. And feel free to send me any projects that you end up using this emulation with. You can email me at emulatedfilm once again, or you can tag me on Instagram, and I'll be better about reposting the work that you guys create with it so people can see what you've done with it.